it's Olivia from Girlybunches. I thought I would do a question and answers video this week because I've never done one before, and I think it would be a nice way of me actually talking back to you, because I'm talking to you most always, and I'm just talking to myself really, aren't I, because I don't get to interact with you. So this is a really nice way of me getting to talk to you guys. So I'm doing a question and answers video. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, give me a thumbs up. So yeah, I put a video up the other day asking for your questions. It didn't have to be about crochet, it could be about anything you wanted to ask me. And I was worried I wasn't going to get any, and I got loads. So thank you very much to everyone who left me questions. I'm going to see if I can answer most of them. There was quite a few, so I don't know if we'll get through all of them. But maybe I might start doing this as a regular thing. So if that's something that you would be interested in, do let me know in the comments down below. So we'll start off with J Mary Laststone, who's left me a message. Thank you very much. And she's asking me, is there any stitch that you dislike or find boring? Yes, yes there is. I think I dislike and find it boring to do because it's usually the last stitch I'm doing on a pattern, and that is a project, I should say, and it's a picot stitch. It's the one that you have the little tiny blip, sort of makes a little tiny blip on the edge of something. Looks adorable, looks really cute, and I think really finishes off a pattern beautifully. But I find it boring because it's usually the last round of a blanket or something that I'm doing, which means that I'm desperate to finish it, because I think somebody asked me once what's the most thing I enjoy about doing something, and finishing a project is what I really like doing. But you wouldn't know it from all the projects that I've started and not finished. So yeah, I'm usually quite keen to get that last round done, and because it takes a few more stitches to do, it's not just a simple kind of last round. It sort of seems to take forever, but most things do, don't they, when you're doing the last stitch on a project, but or last round. So yeah, I love it when it's done, and I think it really makes the difference to a project, but doing it drives me potty. So yeah, that's my most disliked stitch. So I'd ask the question back to you, is there a stitch that you find the same? That's to everyone, that you find the same, it's like boring or a bit tedious to do. So we all have that, don't we? Then we will have our favourites and dislikes. So yeah, I'd be interested to know. So thank you very much, that's a great question. Okay, so my next question was from Claire Hill, and she is asking, do I know an easy way to find out a multiple of a pattern? So I wasn't quite sure what she meant, so I went back to her and said, what do you actually mean? Do you mean when you need to increase something? So I'm not going to be able to explain how to increase clothing, because that's a whole nother video. But if that's something, I could do a video on showing you how to make things the right size for you by using garments that you already have. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know, because I've done that before and I've written something about that on my blog. So have a look on my blog. But if you want a video, do let me know. But she's saying, she came back and said, yes, for example, if you see a scarf pattern with X number of chains, how many chains would it be to do that in a blanket? Okay, so let's take a scarf pattern. When you're given a pattern, they're not going to tell you how to do anything other than make that item, because that whole pattern is written and designed to show you how to make that exact item. So that's usually been quite carefully calculated by how much yarn you're going to need, what type. So they'll usually stick to one kind of brand of yarn, but if you look at the amount of yardage or meterage on that yarn, you can usually work out if what you've bought, if it's different, would be enough, and if you're using the same hook as the pattern tells you to use. So that comes into tension. So that size wise, I've done a video about tension, so check that out. But what we're talking about now is making this sort of an item that's this wide become blanket wide. So what I'm going to say is you're not going to know, and that pattern won't ever tell you. So my best advice is make a number of chains that you want roughly your blanket width to be. Okay, so this is, you know, be prepared to undo it a few times, because this is what we all have to do. But make that chain the same, roughly the width that you want your bed cover blanket to be. Once you've done that, start working the pattern, but keep repeating. So when it says move, you know, do 3 chains and work back the other way, or whatever, you know, to reverse, to go back the other direction, don't do that. Just keep repeating that first part. It's much easier if you're given an overall pattern. So let me explain what I mean by that. And what I mean by that is a book like this where it gives you lots of different stitches. Okay, so in a book like this that will give you, and I wonder if I can do some snazzy zooming in. Here we go. Look at that. All technology. So you get like this sort of pattern, and this is what it's going to look like. And in this pattern description here, and I'll now zoom out because you're very close up onto my face. There we go. Hope that's better. It will say something like multiple of 5 plus 2. So that's when you're given an actual amount that you can use. So what you do is you do number of 5, multiples of 5 all the way across. So you keep going. So you like had 500, for example, multiple of 5, and at the end you just do 2 extra chains. So that's a multiple of 5 plus 2, and then you work the pattern that it tells you to. So it is one of those terrible, questions, because we all want to know the answer, because we all want to get it right first time. But unfortunately, that's just not something that can happen. But it is something that you can practice with, and the more you do it, the better you'll become at guessing in the future. So I know that's not really probably the answer you were looking for. I hope it's helped. Let me know if it hasn't, because maybe I'll try and just describe it in a better way. But it is just all hit and miss, having a go, and that is probably one of the reasons why I love crochet so much, because it's something that you can see, oh, how can I make that different to the pattern? Because a pattern, as I've said before, is just a guidance only. It's not written in stone. Everything can be changed, and I do that a lot. I don't often use a pattern because I know that I'll change it so much anyway. So I tend to look at something and go, right, I can see what stitches have been used. I can roughly guess what size to make that by the number of stitches. I can maybe have a look and count how many stitches have been used in something, and I can sort of work it out there. So I hope that's helped. Have a go, and most times if I'm making a blanket, I'll just start with the first chain being the width I want it to be in the end, and then I'll just have a go. I usually end up doing it 5 times, but once you've got it down, once you've worked it out, you're done. And like I said, the more you do that, the better practiced you are, then it'll be easier next time when you're having a go. So I say have a go. That's what I always say, have a go. Alright, just had to go make a cup of tea because I was losing my voice. So my next question is from Tracy Brobin. Thank you very much, Tracy. And she's asking, in the beginning of your videos, you have an image of a crochet heart. Please, could you do a video? Well, I've done the video, but I haven't uploaded it yet. I need to edit and upload that. So that will be coming, that will be before Christmas, definitely, probably in the next couple of weeks. So thank you for dropping a message off there, Tracy. Thank you. Okay, so Anne, who is known as Early's 100. Hi Anne, thank you very much for your 5 questions. That was very very bold of you. Well done. I struggled to think of one question, so that was brilliant. So right, so what is your favourite crochet stitch? If you're talking about patterns, V-stitch, love that. Works up really quick. Probably quicker than a granny stripe, so I really like that. If you're talking about individual stitches, and if it was me, that was what I would mean, and I'm pretty sad, I do have a particular favourite, and it's the half treble. So to me it's a half treble. You may know it's a half double crochet, but it's the one between the double, or single if you're American, and the one between the treble or the double crochet. See, it's very confusing, all this name terminology. That's why I like patterns with diagrams, because then you can't get it wrong. But yeah, it's the half treble. I love that stitch because it's not as tiny as a double, which means you feel like you're getting a little bit further, but it's not as big as a treble, which means it's nice. It's not too flappy. So yeah, if you're sad like me, you have a particular favourite stitch, and it's the half treble. But overall patterns, I do really like stitch patterns. I mean the V-stitch, because that for blanket work, that works up brilliantly. And if you do each row as a different colour, it just looks like lots of little tiny zigzags. So done a video on that in the description box down below. But yeah, great question. What's your favourite crochet project or item to make? I don't really have a favourite. Usually the thing that I'm working on, or the last thing I've made, is a favourite. Yeah. And do you have any other hobbies? yes, loads. I'm into everything. If I can make it myself, I'll make it myself. I love being able to make stuff for myself. Like I make clothes, I make gifts, I'll make food, you know, all sorts of things. I'm into making things. Like as long as I'm making something, usually a mess, then I'm very happy. But yeah, I love all crafts, and I love I love all crafts, and photography is probably well, I studied photography so at university, so you could say that's my favourite, probably above everything, but I don't get time to do it now these days, so I kind of stick with making stuff, which I enjoy. As long as I'm making something, then I'm usually content. So, and it's usually a mess. If you speak to anyone that knows me, if you couldn't crochet anymore, would you still do YouTube videos, and would you still make videos? Well, yes. If I couldn't crochet, then I'd probably limited in what I could do, because that sounds like I couldn't do anything else. But I think she just means if I didn't do crochet. Yeah, definitely I would. I love sharing. You hear the wind? Sorry about that. I love sharing what I know, whether people want to know it or not. Probably they don't want to know it at all. I think, oh God, what's she into now? God, another thing. Yeah, yeah. I just like sharing stuff. So there's the wind. Sorry about that. Windows are getting caught away with the wind. Anyway, can't help that. Yeah, love sharing stuff. So I probably would definitely still do YouTube videos, because I've got to know so many people through YouTube now, so I definitely wouldn't stop. Yeah, definitely keep going. That's if people want to watch me, that is. So, and the last one is, what's the number one item on my Christmas list? And I don't have anything on my Christmas list. Nothing that I'm desperate for. I'm very lucky. I know that I am, and I'm very, very appreciative of the fact that I don't need anything. So there's nothing really on my Christmas list. Yeah, I prefer being with my family. That sort of thing. That's my that's what I prefer. So thanks, Anne, for all your questions. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. And now moving on to Kind of Foggy. What a great YouTube name. Well done. I love that. Kind of Foggy. I always feel a bit kind of foggy. And they're asking me, what is your hands down favourite crochet pattern book, magazine, or online free pattern resource? Okay, so as I mentioned before, I don't really follow patterns, only if there's something particular that I really want to make. Like this was a pattern, so I'll come to that in a minute. But if I was to be honest, I think life might not be worth living if I couldn't have these books nearby. These are my two favourite crochet books, and they're the Harmony Guide to Crochet Stitches and the Harmony Guide to 100 More Crochet Stitches. Love these books. Pretty difficult to find now, I think. I think they've been remade into smaller, less filled with information books. I know Harmony still do books, but I don't. I mean, I got these on eBay, or was it Amazon? I can't remember. But they were second hand when I bought them, and quite frankly, I think they're just brilliant. They've got loads of these sort of overall stitch patterns, which I love, because I love this sort of this is my inspiration, this sort of thing, like seeing all of the overall pattern, because then I can work out how to incorporate that into something else that I want to make. So, and also that every pattern comes with like a photograph, as in this is what it should look like, and then a written description, and then an actual diagram. I don't know if you can see this diagram. So, and I find reading diagrams personally much more helpful. You get them, but they are worded for UK British terms. So, if you did get them and got a bit confused, then that will, I don't know if they print them in different terms for different countries. I don't know, but they do have excellent diagrams in them. If you can see these, so if if you're not sure of what you're supposed to be doing, it's just brilliant. I don't really read magazines because they're generally full of adverts, which I can't stand. And so if you took all the adverts out, you've paid quite a lot of money for just a few things. So I don't really enjoy reading magazines because they're just 90% adverts. And free pattern source, well, not always free, but Revelry is a brilliant website for patterns. So if not all of them are free, which is fair enough, but most of them are, and very useful resource. So if you haven't, I think you have to sign up to be part of Revelry. I think most people are part of Revelry, aren't they? It's pretty well known. But yeah, great resource I think there. And Pinterest for inspiration. I know Pinterest is a bit of a dark word, isn't it? But you know, and maybe I might do a Pinterest series, because sometimes I think that some of the things are a little bit optimistic, shall I say. That's a nice way of saying it, isn't it? I think sometimes yeah, sometimes they sort of glam it up a bit too much, I think, as, oh, look at what I made, you know. But you know, it's fun to look at, isn't it? We do like Pinterest. I like Pinterest anyway. So yeah, those are my sort of places to go to. Okay, so Kind of Foggy, thank you. What a great question. Yeah, I'd like to know yours actually. What are your places for resources? You know, it's good to share, isn't it? We all have different things that we find useful. So now I'm moving on to Blue Rose. Thank you, Blue Rose. You win the prize for most asked questions, 10. Well done. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. Might not be able to answer them all, but we'll give it a go. Okay, what is your field of education? What did you study? I studied photography, science degree. That's, you know, my highest level Bachelor of Science honours. I don't do anything to do with that anymore, sadly. But, you know, crochet's compromise, isn't it? Same thing. What is your job? It's utterly boring. It's document controller, because documents need controlling. I don't need to say anymore. If you're a document controller, you know how difficult they are to control. What is your favourite hand cream when crocheting? I don't use hand cream when I'm about to do a project or work on something, because I don't want the oils to come off onto the yarns that I'm using. But while I'm at work and after I've done the washing up or stuff like that, you know, clean the bathroom, whatever, I will always use hand cream. So I don't necessarily use it just before I start. I'll let it soak in, and I don't care. I love hand cream. I'm a bit addicted to it, and any type of hand cream I can get hold of, from the pound shop to expensive stuff. So I've got L'Occitane, I really like that. They're shea butter hand cream, and then sort of Body Shop hand creams, and then down to the, you know, just the normal Nivea. Is it a Vivio? I don't know. I'll probably write that word there. Vivio. I don't know. That's a really good hand cream. And then just down to the pound shop stuff, which, you know, as long as it's not like a greasy one. I don't like the ones where they leave grease on your hand, you know. Sometimes they're quite greasy, aren't they? I know it's hand cream, it's supposed to be, isn't it? Anyway, great question, thank you. What's yours? Do you use one? Is there one that you use? Is there one that soaks in quickly? Let me know, because I can't stand dry hands. So I was using it. What is 1 to 2 most favourite pieces that you've crocheted so far? Why do you love them so much? I'm going to come back to that question, because that might be a little bit of a long one. Do you have a favourite crochet designer? If yes, why and who? No, I don't. I think anyone that can make anything is brilliant, and anyone that tries to make anything is just as brilliant. And having a go, well done, and teaching yourself something new, brilliant. So no, I don't have a particular favourite designer, I'd say, because I admire all works by anyone. What crochet channels on YouTube do you watch? I don't really watch any crochet channels, because I don't want to follow a trend. I want to be able to give you original stuff. I don't want to feel like I don't want to be influenced by someone else, if you see what I mean. I want to be able to bring stuff to you that I've thought about and thought you might like. I hope that makes sense. Not that I don't acknowledge any of the amazing YouTubers who do crochet out there, because they are amazing, and I just admire their dedication, because I struggle with my 1 video a week, and I know people do more than that, and I just, you know, I bow down to them. But I do follow Zoe on 24 Carat Crochet. Love Zoe, she's really lovely. I've met her in real life. She's a sweetheart, and she does really good. She's really regular with her uploads, like more than once a week. So I'll put a link to her channel down below. She's lovely. Go and check out her channel. Go and say I said hi. Yeah, do check her out. I love her. She's lovely. What crochet blogs do you follow? I don't. I barely have time to write my own, so reading other people's is just not possible for me, unfortunately. If not crochet, what other hobby would you choose? Like I mentioned before, I do all sorts of things. This is a great question. I love this question. What would you rather make? 60 washcloths or 1 blanket? Hands down, every time, 1 blanket. I know it's a bigger project, but I've got like I said before, I love to finish things. So once I've finished something, knowing that I've got to make 59 other ones, no, not interested. I'll do it because I'm, you know, if someone's asking me to do it, they're going to pay me to do it, and obviously I'm going to do it. But I'd rather do one blanket. Know that once it's done, it's done. I don't have to make another one. That's my kind of project. Sorry, tea time. Okay, need to wet my whistle, as they say. 10. Do I get strongly attached to projects while making them? Is it hard for you to sell or give them away? Okay, so I'm going to tie this one back into number 4, which was the most favourite pieces I've crocheted so far. So piece number 1 is this that I'm wearing, and I made this, finished this quite recently, and it's not my pattern, it's a virus shawl. So this is the overall pattern. I hope you can see that. It's all over the internet. You'll find it on Ravelry. If you Google it, it's a really easy pattern to do, and rewarding isn't the word, it's just, you know, it works up quick. You get this beautiful pattern, and if you use a variegated yarn like I've done, and I will leave in a description box what yarn this is, if you use this sort of variegated yarn, it just comes up beautifully. So I got attached to that only because it was something I'd looked at for a long time and thought I really want to make those for myself. I did, loved it, and so yeah, this one I wouldn't be able to part with. I'd be quite upset if something happened to this one. Okay, so this one I think has to be kind of like, I think I peaked in my crochet career when I made this, because for a long time I've wanted to make this item, teddy bear, because who doesn't love a teddy bear, right? So I sat down, just started, and I wrote it down as I went so that I could make corrections. And you know, sometimes you're just supposed to do things, aren't you? You're just supposed to sit down and start doing things, and I did. And this is Billy, and this is what I ended up with. And I adore Billy. He's like my best friend. I love him. He sleeps in the bed with me. I know, it's sad, my poor husband has to get past Billy. But Billy is adorable, and how could you not love Billy? There you go, there's Billy. Oh, everyone. And he even waves. And yeah, he came out exactly how I wanted him to come out. He looks exactly how I imagined him for so many months and probably years. I love him to bits. Even when I was putting him together, and I went to bed. I had to go to bed because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning or something, and I couldn't bear leaving him in the living room because I hadn't sewn his little arms on, and I was like, oh, how is he going to defend himself if somebody comes to him, you know? Yeah, Billy was my favourite, and he's got a little tail there, and I did write up the pattern, and pattern is in my Etsy shop, because I know for a fact that if I made another one, I wouldn't be able to, like, I did make one for my dad, but that was fine because it's my dad. But I know that if I made one, I don't think I could give it away easily. Even if someone exchanged money for it, I think I would be like, oh, are you sure you want him? I'd have to keep him. So, and that's the reason why I wrote the pattern up, because I know there's no way I'd be able to make another one and give him away. He's got a little tummy full of biscuits or something, you know, whatever. He's got a little neck scarf, and I just, yeah, totally love Billy. So I think out of anything I've ever made, this bear is the thing that this is the original one. So this is the one that I sat down and wrote, you know, the pattern out to. So he's got his little feet and everything, and yeah, totally couldn't make one for money. I'd feel very difficult in parting with it because utterly stupid reasons. I don't know why, but I just, you know, love it. So yes, those are my 2 projects that have caused me trouble, really, because this one's definitely, you're a troublemaker, Billy. But yeah, I'm just going to pop him down over there safely. So this one isn't really crochet, and not really sure how to answer this one, but we'll give it a go. So she's saying, she's asking about my accent, basically. I mean, it's quite a long question, so I won't read it all, but do I hear, when Americans speak, do you hear an accent from us? Because she's talking about my accent, and is it something I wish I had? Well, thank you for saying that my accent is beautiful. That's very kind of you. I'm just kind of, I suppose you'd call me Middle English accent. I don't really have, I'm not posh. Yeah, I'm not posh, definitely not posh. I probably pronunciate more than most, but I don't have a regional accent. So in the UK we'd have different regions. So it's definitely a South accent that I have. Definitely Middle English. I probably have, I might have a few twangs of different regions because I've lived in quite a few different regions. But yes, I definitely hear the difference between American accents from different parts of the country. I could probably pick out 3 or 4 different accents, and I'd probably be wrong. I would probably just guess if you were north or south or east or west of America. I wouldn't be able to pinpoint exactly. Do you hear differences in the British accent? Do you think that I'm, because I said I'm from the south, which is this, south of England, which is near London. Both my parents are from Bristol, but they don't have an accent. They have like a Middle English accent, the same as I do. But I slip quite easily into a Bristolian accent. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to insult anyone, because to me it sounds quite authentic, but I'm not going to do it. But there's people, so I'm interested to know if Americans can hear the difference in English accents, if you can pick up, but can you tell if I'm from the north of England or the south of England or in between? So yeah, that's so thank you for the compliment. I'm just kind of bog standard, I think you'd say, my voice is accent. I personally hate listening to my voice. When I'm editing videos, it's like fingers down a chalkboard to me. I can't stand listening to myself. I think I sound like an idiot, but I try not to. But yes, that's me. Yeah, so that's an interesting question. And I mentioned Zoe from 24 Carat Crochet. She's done lots of videos about accents and the way British people say things differently to Americans. So yeah, do check out Zoe's channel, if Rachel particularly, because you might pick up something from that. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. That's definitely it now. I'll just double check. Yeah, none hot off the press. So yes, thank you very much to everyone who took part and joined in and asked a question. If I do this again, don't be shy. No question's a bad question. It doesn't have to be about crochet. You know me, I'll talk about anything. And I hope you enjoyed this type of video. It's probably gone on way too long, so I'm going to wrap it up really quickly. Just say thank you again. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. Love to do it again, and I definitely will do it again. And hit the subscribe button. I don't know where it is anymore. There's one down there, I think. There's one up there. I don't know. Hit it. I'd love it if you did. Hit it, tap it, click it. Okay, thank you very much. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video so I know to do them again or not. And take care. And if you're in the middle of getting ready for all this seasonal stuff that's about to happen, just take a few moments to relax. It will all get done. Just chill out. Nothing won't get finished. It all will work out in the end. Take it easy, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.